Hallo zusammen. So, es ist Zeit für ein neues Neu bei Visit USA Webinar. Ich bin Christian vom Visit USA Community Germany. Viele von euch sind ja schon öfter mal dabei gewesen, kennt mich. Aber wen ihr nicht kennt, das sind unsere beiden Partner, die wir auch heute wieder dabei haben. So, I'm going to switch to English real quick, just to introduce the partners we have today with us. With Visit Portland, Maine, we got Abby. Hi, Abby. Hi
Hello.
there. Hi there. And for Celebrity Cruises, we got Leon and we got Florian with us. Hi there. Hi, Florian.
Hello.
Hi. So Florian is German speaking. Leon will be English speaking.
Hi there.
Hi there. For now, it's time to move on to Leon and Florian to Celebrity Cruises. As we've just said, they have great cruises from Boston to New England, but also in many other great places in the US. So Florian, we can switch to German for now.
Klar,
Erzähl uns ein bisschen was über Celebrity Cruises. Was macht euch so
Ja.
besonders?
Super gerne mache ich das, obwohl natürlich Leon hier der Experte ist, unser Training- und Schulungsmanager. Wir sind eine Reederei mit Sitz in Miami, gehören zur Royal Caribbean Group, die ja 3 Marken hat. Royal Caribbean International, gerade neu auf Einführungsfahrt mit vielen meiner Kollegen, die Legend of the Seas im Mittelmeer. Dann haben wir im Luxusbereich Silver Sea Cruises mit kleineren Schiffen, und wir bei Celebrity Cruises haben Schiffe mit einer Kapazität so von 2 bis 3.300 Gästen und sind da praktisch in dem mittelgroßen Teil unterwegs. Und damit noch nicht genug. Als Royal Caribbean Group haben wir ein Joint Venture mit TUI Cruises, wo wir mit 50% daran beteiligt sind. Und viele deutsche Kreuzfahrtkunden kennen unsere Schiffe auch, denn die Mein Schiff 1 und die Mein Schiff 2 damals, das waren ehemalige Celebrity Cruises Schiffe, so dass, wenn ich mit Gästen spreche, die an Bord waren oder auch an Bord eines unserer neuen Schiffe gehen, die fühlen sich instinktiv wohl bei uns an Bord, weil sie einfach dann die Schiffsklasse kennen. Aber ansonsten würde ich... Oh,
there he is. Yay.
The one and
No worries.
Leon, I covered you for the last
Yeah.
and I just wanted to start with the presentation. I was really nervous, so thank God you are here. And as I said before, this is the one and only training manager from the UK, Manchester, Leon.
Yeah. You know how to make an entrance. Let's just put it this way.
I am so sorry. Hi, everybody. First of all, I apologize. Second of all, we have rehearsed this not once, but twice in detail, and I still had issues. Let's get started because time is money.
Awesome.
Thank you so much to Visit USA and to Christian for allowing us this time to talk to you about Celebrity Cruises. You've heard from my colleague, Florian, and what I want to do is really give you a flavor of what Celebrity Cruises offers in the USA. And we have a lot of cruises. I'm getting a lot of thumbs up. So thank you for your patience and thank you for your understanding. So we've decided that we want to make this fun and interactive. And we are going to ask you some questions. And you will need to provide the answers by email and send them to my colleague, Florian Schneider. So his email address is there, fschneider@celebrity.com. And we ask you to make a note of these questions, because if you can answer all of these questions and email them to Florian, then you will be in a prize draw to win a surprise goodie bag. So the 4 questions are: how many ships sail out of Florida for winter? Which glacier does Celebrity Edge visit from Seattle? Which cities does Celebrity Silhouette sail from in the summer when it visits Canada, New England, and Bermuda? And which 2 Celebrity ships sail in the Caribbean all year round?
So everyone, I'm just jumping in here, Leon, for a second.
Yeah, sure.
Everyone's going to see these questions after the presentation. You will get these questions in the follow-up, and you will also get Florian's email address again in the follow-up. So if you couldn't take a note of the email address, no worries, you'll get that email address for sure. Just remember to not, I repeat, not post the correct answer in the chat, because otherwise you will make everyone's life very easy and your competition increases. So just keep the right answers to yourself.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Christian. We like to test our travel partners and keep them engaged. So what we want to do is talk about why celebrity. I only have 20 minutes, so I'm going to be really quick because I know you want to know about our sailings. But the important thing is to understand, how is celebrity different from all of the other cruise lines? We know after North America, Germany has the biggest market for cruise travelers in the world. And so it's important for you to understand how we are different. We talk about elevating everything. And the concept of elevation is all about taking the 5 most important elements of a premium holiday. And we know that our guests in Germany, they are foodies. They put a lot of importance in what they eat and how they feel when they travel to these places, where they wake up, how they're treated by the staff on board, what they can do day and night. So we take these 5 deal breakers, the 5 critical areas of a premium holiday, and we elevate them in only ways that celebrity can do this. And if you have a customer who is a big fan of dining out and food, if they are traveling without children, if they are 45 plus, if they love spending money on travel and good travel, these people are perfect for celebrity. They've probably cruised before, but they've never cruised with celebrity, and celebrity will speak to them through their passion and their lifestyle, because it's all about balance. We know that people like this want the choice to do as much or as little as they like, and they can have both with celebrity. Why not have it all? And so when it comes to a summary of the difference of celebrity cruises, this is a great image to bring it all together, because we take those very important areas of the foodies, the travelers, the adventurers, the well-being enthusiasts, and we elevate them with our incredible onboard service and our amazing ships, so that your customers have this balance. You have the revenue, everyone is satisfied. And we have 3 options. So when you book a celebrity cruise, you can go for a cruise-only price, which is just the lowest price and just the cruise, or all-included, which guarantees unlimited classic drinks and basic Wi-Fi for everyone. The top package is when you book a suite, and this is your private area of the ship called the retreat, and that comes with the top drinks and Wi-Fi package automatically. So these are our 3 packages and price points. And with the classic drinks package, this is what you're going to enjoy. And this comes automatically with all included. So I always say it's easier to sell from the top down than it is to upsell from the bottom up. So use this and always start with always included. It's the best package for the best value. Now, I want to show a video that really brings to life our incredible ships, and we're going to go to video to show you on board. Take it away. Wow, that video makes me so proud. And you know what? I think that really does bring to life the feeling, the innovation, the uniqueness of being with Celebrity Cruises as you travel the world. So we are so proud that we have been recognized as the best in class by one of the top luxury rating organizations in the world. And 3 of our ships there are in Europe, but we're going to talk all about North America, because what we want to do is get you excited, educated, motivated, and inspired all about our North America sailings. So this is a summary of which ships are where. And in the summertime, we have a ship in New York and Boston. We have one in Seattle that does Alaska, and the other 2 are in Florida for the Caribbean. And then everything changes for the winter when we have up to 9 ships in the Caribbean for the winter season. So let's go to a map. In the summertime, as you can see, we have Celebrity Edge sailing from Seattle, and she operates 7-night Alaska cruises. We then have Celebrity Silhouette sailing out of New York City and Boston. And Boston is only 1 hour, 45 minutes drive from Portland. So you can combine a trip to Portland with a cruise from Boston in the fall. And then our 2 ships based in Fort Lauderdale and Miami for the summer. Then when we move to the winter time, many of our ships will transition down to Florida for beautiful, warm Caribbean cruises. So we have 4 Floridian home ports: Tampa, Port Canaveral, which is less than an hour from Orlando International Airport, Fort Lauderdale, and of course, Miami. So when we talk about Alaska, we always include 1 glacier and 1 cruise through the Inside Passage. And now I've been to Alaska, and there is Edge right next to the Hubbard Glacier. But Celebrity Edge sails around Alaska, the most beautiful part of Alaska, from May until September, viewing one of the biggest tidewater glaciers in the world, almost 1 kilometer across, great for wildlife viewing. And of course, we have the infinite balcony, which is a floor-to-ceiling window that you can transform into a balcony. So when you join the ship in Seattle, you're going to go through what we call the Inside Passage, which is an incredible almost like a fjord experience because we have some islands on the left-hand side there, and we are sailing through those islands with land either side, and we spend a whole day cruising through there to get to the Dawes Glacier. So you're guaranteed a glacier and you're guaranteed a cruise through the Inside Passage when it comes to Alaska. Let's move right over from the West Coast to the East Coast and go to Bermuda, Canada, and New England. Celebrity Silhouette, a beautiful Solstice series ship, 85% balcony. She is based in New York City for the beginning of the summer and does a double overnight in the Royal Naval Dockyard. So it's almost like a second vacation. But then she will go over to Iceland for a mini Icelandic season before coming back to Boston to do Canada, Maine, and New England. And as our colleague Abby said, we are visiting Maine as well. And Boston is less than 2 hours away from beautiful Portland. So if your customers want to try the fabulous island of Bermuda, or if they want to go and experience the beautiful autumn foliage and the fall from Boston and do an overnight in Canada, you can do that with Celebrity from the East Coast, New York and Boston in the summertime. And then finally for the summer, we have two ships that are based in Florida for the summertime, and they are in Miami and in Fort Lauderdale. So Celebrity Beyond, a beautiful Edge series ship, does 6 and 8 nights with a great collection of Caribbean islands. And then you can also do short 6-night cruises from Fort Lauderdale. Now, this is a perfect opportunity to combine a cruise with Celebrity with any of your customers that are booking any Florida trips to Disney or to Universal Studios, Epcot Center, you name it. This is a great way to introduce them to the cruise. Now, I've saved the best till last because we don't like the winter in Northern Europe. We like to get away for the sunshine. So for this year, we are going to have 9 ships in the Caribbean, okay? Now, 8 of them are based in the US, in Florida. And there are some fantastic statistics, 31 destinations, 18 countries, and we also focus on more time in the destination. So 37 calls with 12 or more hours in port so that your customers can really enjoy the culture and the city and the destination. So 5 ships are based from Fort Lauderdale: Eclipse, Ascent, Beyond, Silhouette, and Reflection. And here is just a short overview of all of the different cruises that we do. Eclipse does the long 9, 10, 11, and 12, Southern and Ultimate Caribbean, visiting St. Lucia and Antigua, whereas Ascent will also do 10 and 11 nights, going down to Grenada and everyone's favorite Caribbean island, Barbados. So a great balance and mixture there. If you want a shorter one and you want to go over to Central America, you can combine the Caribbean with Honduras and Panama and Mexico with Celebrity Silhouette doing 6 and 8 nights. The ABC Islands as well, also Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. And this one, again, is an ideal opportunity to add on to your customers 1 or 2 week winter holiday to Florida. Because what if they've never cruised before? What if they've never tried Celebrity before and they want to try a short cruise? Book them a 3 or 4 night Key West and Bahamas. A perfect opportunity, a great taste for your new to cruise or new to Celebrity customers. Key West is a beautiful island and it has got so much to see. And Nassau, of course, is the capital of the Bahamas. So very colorful. And let's move on to Celebrity Beyond. mainly 7 nights. The Dominican Republic, Puerto Plata, Santo Domingo, also Mexico, and the island of Grand Cayman. And then we move on to Miami. Now, you may have heard about Excel. She is number 5 in the Edge series. She is number 15 in our fleet, brand new, sailing in Europe this summer, but she is coming back to Miami. This ship is the most innovative and the most beautiful ship we have in our fleet. So again, this is for your premium guests who want something extra special and memorable, combined with some beautiful, beautiful destinations like St. Thomas, Tortola, and Antigua and Mexico. Then we move up to the eastern coast of Florida to Port Canaveral. And as I said, Port Canaveral is very close to Orlando International Airport and the big parks like Disney and Universal. So again, why not introduce your customers, your families, your first-time cruisers to Celebrity by adding on a cruise with Celebrity Apex? Now, I know this ship, and so does Florian, because she's based in Southampton. We did a big fam trip on this ship, and it has won a beautiful and a repeated Forbes Travel Guide Award. This ship is gorgeous. So it sails out of Port Canaveral and alternates between San Juan in Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. So it goes really far south with Key West, Mexico, and the Bahamas. So south and then west, alternating 7 nights throughout the summer. And finally, the beautiful Celebrity Summit. Now, did you know that this ship has been completely and utterly refurbished, renovated, and upgraded? So it's like brand new. And this is in Tampa, which is right up in the northwest of Florida. And again, she will do 7 nights, Key West and the Bahamas. But because of the location of the ship, she's able to go right over to Central America as well, visiting the smaller countries like Belize and Panama, and also the amazing resort area of Costa Maya in Mexico. So as you can see, with Celebrity Cruises, there is a huge amount of choice. We have 4 ships based in the US during the summer, and then we have 8 for the winter Caribbean, all based in Florida.
Leon, there was one question coming in. Which of your ships is the smallest one?
So if we talk about which of the ships I've talked about today, that would be Celebrity Summit. So Celebrity Summit takes about 2,100 passengers, and the Solstice class takes about 3,000, and then Edge is about 3,200.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
No problem. So I can see my partner in crime has appeared. The other Leon, when this Leon doesn't work. But again, we want you to have fun, and we want to test you. Florian has very kindly put a surprise bag together with prizes in. So all we need you to do is make a note of his email address, and then were you paying attention? Can you answer these questions? All you need to do is answer those questions and send the answers to Florian, and then everybody who gets 100%, we will put them in a prize draw. And who knows, you may get Florian knocking on your door, delivering the bag himself like Santa Claus. So
I'm pretty sure we included all the questions. I just double-checked. So the answers were all in your presentation, Leon.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I mean, you're very thorough, Christian, but let me just go through the questions again. We want to know how many ships sail out of Florida for the winter for Caribbean, the name of the glacier that is visited by Celebrity Edge when she's based in Seattle, which cities Celebrity Silhouette is based out of in the summer, and which 2 ships sail in the Caribbean all year round. And I'm going to say thank you very much. Thank you for your patience. My apologies for the late start. And thank you to Visit USA for this incredible opportunity to speak to our partners in Germany. Florian, over to you to take this home.
Ja, thank you very much, Leon. Ja, vielen Dank an euch alle, dass ihr euch die Zeit heute Nachmittag genommen habt, um etwas über uns, über Celebrity Cruises zu erfahren, vor allem natürlich mit dem Bezug dann auch zu Nordamerika, zu den USA. Wir fahren natürlich auch weltweit mit unserer Flotte und laden euch und eure Gäste herzlich ein auf unsere Schiffe, zu unseren Schulungsangeboten und freuen uns, wenn wir euch da auf jeden Fall wiedersehen oder vielleicht auch im Laufe des Jahres bei einer Veranstaltung von Visit USA.
Perfect. Thank you very much to the two of you. So if there are any other questions, please ask them now. We will get to the Q&A session in a second. Thanks, Leon, for the great presentation. I just wanted to add that in your video, because I never watched the videos completely before the presentation, so that it's a surprise for me as well. And I felt like all of these shots, they felt like luxury resorts, really, rather than a cruise ship. It's like a really very, very nice hotel resort that we've been looking at. So very nice impressions that we got from that video.
You're muted.
You're muted. Yeah.
How long have I been doing this? I'm muting myself. I'm so sorry. Christian, I have to say, I congratulate you on what you've just said, because I always say, don't think so much about ships and cruises. Think about premium resorts, because that's what they are. And the vibe and the entertainment and the service is like the best resort that you would find in the Caribbean or in Mauritius or in the Maldives or in the Mediterranean. And that's the feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really what I felt about that video as well. So thank you. Yeah, perfect.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So before we get to any potential questions, just a few words to our next webinar, about our next webinars. So the next webinar will be Visit Tucson in Arizona and Visit Oklahoma City. So two smaller cities, but very interesting. So this is going to be in 2 weeks' time, roughly, on the 15th of July at 10 o'clock in the morning. So it's going to be a German webinar again. So this is really for the insiders among you that really want to learn about these Route 66 cities. And then we have 2 live events. Please save the dates. Very likely, or I'm going to switch to English here, to German hier. Sehr, sehr wahrscheinlich werdet ihr im Follow-up morgen mit der Aufzeichnung schon die Anmeldemöglichkeiten zu beiden Events holen. Wir haben unsere Kino-Roadshow im September, da haben wir Berlin, Erlangen, Mainz. Es kann sein, dass Dortmund wieder wackelt, also wahrscheinlich werden es Berlin, Erlangen, Mainz, die aber mit 100% Sicherheit. Sehr, sehr wahrscheinlich werdet ihr da morgen auch schon den Anmeldelink kriegen. Und auf jeden Fall, das habe ich immer noch nicht geändert, das war im letzten Moment im Webinar schon, der 31. Oktober ist natürlich unser Halloween-Event, da habe ich nie aufgepasst. Also am 31. Oktober unser Halloween-Event, da werdet ihr auf jeden Fall die Anmeldemöglichkeit mitbekommen. Das größte Event, das wir im Jahr machen, unser größtes Schulungsevent mit weit über 30 Partnern, die vor Ort sind, den ganzen Tag vollgestopft mit Workshops und interaktiven, lustigen Sachen, die man machen kann. Und am Abend gibt es dann die großartige, fast schon legendäre Halloween-Party. So, das war mein kleiner Promo-Blog. So this has been my little promo blog, and we're gonna check if there are any open questions. It doesn't seem like it. So Fabian is a big fan of celebrity cruises. He told us that, so it hits different, cruising with celebrity. Other than that, I don't think there are any other open questions. If anyone has questions left, you will know how to reach Abby, how to reach Leon, how to reach Florian. Just reach out to them and ask your questions. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much to our 3 presenters for the great presentations. And thanks for everyone for taking the time to be with us today. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, see you next time.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.